Let's get down to brass tacks. Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are ready to rock and roll on a Monday night. And what better way could we do this than number one, having a fun tier list and also bringing in our good friend, the amazing Rachel. Rachel, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here and so excited to do this tier list. It's gonna be a good one.
Well, I think it's going to be very interesting. We've got a
Mhm.
ton of characters on this tier list. I believe it's over 50. So it's
Cool.
I think we've covered all the major bases as far as I know. So I think it's going
Terrific.
to be a blast. Yeah, absolutely. For you guys in the chat, thank you for joining us. A blanket hello to all you guys. We got a pretty good crowd here tonight. This is awesome stuff.
Mhm.
Paula's in the house. What's up, Paula? We got Pierre in the house saying hi. It has been a long time for me. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Hope you've been doing well and that the
Mhm.
new year has been treating you well. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Let's see. Acres in the chat saying hello and thanks, longtime viewer. Well, thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate that. Awesome to have you. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. My man Scott's in the house. What's up, Scott? All right. Let's see. Da, 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 da. I'm just making sure I'm catching as many people as I can. Let's see. Willis is in the house. What's up, Willis? RJ's in the house saying, I had no idea this was happening tonight. Nice to be with you. Well, we're glad you made it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My man, Death Central in the house. What's up, man? So this is going to be a good one. I know, man. Good to have you here, man. And welcome back to the community, like I was saying earlier. Awesome to have you back. Ben's in the house saying, yeah, I made it. Good to have you, Ben. Hope you're doing well, bro. Mike is in the house. Welcome to the chat. My man, Nightfall. Nightfall is in the house. What's up? Good to have you here. Hope you've been doing well too, man. Seriously. And MK is in the house. What's up? Good to have you. And I think I've caught up everyone. Mikey in the house. All right. Mike and Mikey. Very cool. Very cool. Of course, Gene is here. Gene doesn't play around. And just shout out to, a lot of you guys, Paula, Gene, so many of you guys literally are here every stream. And seriously,
Mhm.
it's always appreciated. I know it, sometimes people have things going on, but it's also great to have you guys here. Seriously, we enjoy the interaction and just having fun with the community. Mary, oh, saying been sick with a cold, but so glad to be here. Well, we're glad you are here too,
Hope you're
and I
feeling
hope,
better.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, Rachel. Sometimes these types of streams make a big difference for people's health. You just get those good vibes and
Absolutely.
laughs. Yeah.
Mhm. 100%.
Well, and we're sending good vibes to you, Mary. Thank you for coming here as you always do. Yeah, man. Definitely it's good to be back. Good to have you back. I know what it's like when you have to step away sometimes for
Mhm.
some ridiculous reasons. But it's
Yep.
all good, bro. It is all good. All right. Rory in the house. What's up, Rory? Saying sorry, been away for a few days. The horror podcast wife has become my girlfriend, so been away, but great to have every one of you. Hey, well, well, that's cool. Congratulations. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. It is almost Valentine's Day, so that's awesome
It
news. Very
is, yes.
get get the flowers ready, man. Get ready, Don't mess it up. I'm just playing around. I'm playing.
Knight speaking
Sorry.
from experience. He's had many years to get it right, so
Yes,
listen to the
yes,
advice.
yes. I was about to say that's one thing. You talk to corianders, like, I don't mess that up. You can't mess that up because you will regret it. Mike saying I just found the channel, been catching up on old lives. Well, Mike, thank you so much and welcome to the
That's
fam here.
awesome.
We
Mhm.
appreciate that, especially our live streams. And live streaming can be really tricky, with the YouTube algorithm and so forth. For whatever reason, they really like to push out uploaded content more than live streams,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
which is tough because I like talking to the fam, the community, whenever I can, and we have these fun like streams and stuff like that. So, but thank you for being here and catching up on old live streams, man. All right. And I think I caught up to everyone. And Nightfall coming in early with a super chat.
That's awesome.
Bro, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It helps us do what we do, keeps the lights on, helps us to do more, which is always, you're always trying to do more with YouTube to keep the algorithm happy.
Yes,
But,
you are.
you
Mhm.
know, Nightfall saying, good evening, everyone. Glad to be here tonight. Hey, man, just glad to have you here. Glad it worked out for your schedule, too, man. Okay, well, let's do a quick super chat clip to get this thing started off. And, this one is obviously in regards to Nightfall, just helping us out here. And, Rachel, sometimes you have no idea what's going on, and it might look a little bit like this.
Well, gentlemen, are you feeling comfortable? I do not like to have my guests ill at ease.
The deepest, darkest corners of the internet.
Hey, look, can I just say, let me just say something. Sometimes, and shout out to a good friend's Michael Carbonite himself, super
Ah,
tenor,
yes. Mhm.
obviously Coriander. You guys always keep me stacked with some absolutely hilarious clips, stuff that you guys see. And sorry,
It's fantastic.
some of the stuff that I get from these guys is like it cracks me up, man. It really does. But
It's brilliant.
that's we enjoy having a good laugh. You know what I mean? So,
Yes, we do.
okay, all right. So let's get ready to do this. We've got our tier list full of a bunch of villains, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to try to place them in what we think is the proper category, and we're going to need you. Nightfall's laughing. We're gonna
That's
we're gonna need you.
understandable.
Right. Yeah. Kevin, thanks, man. Yeah, and I haven't even mentioned it. Don't forget to hit the like button. It helps us out, helps to push out the stream. Um, what's up, Julie? Woohoo! Good to see you, Julie.
Julie's
Hope you're
here.
doing well.
The historian is here.
There you go. See you it catches on, doesn't it?
We know, yeah,
Oh
it does.
my Acre saying, have you ever tried streaming without live chat? Just no chat comments and stream. Maybe that would be a good idea. I don't know. I have never tried that. I've never tried that. Who knows? And Ben, yeah, he wants to do that battle world, Dead and Buried versus Messiah of Evil. One of these days, man, we're gonna get you on, man. We will. We will. All right. So let's bring up our tier list. How about that? And see what we
Excellent.
got going on. We've got a ton of villains, and I think this is going to be really interesting. Okay, so these are the categories for you guys that are a little bit newer to what we do here. The top level, the masterclass level, is cream, the cream. Our second level is ooh baby, meaning that we think that the film is pretty good. And then in the middle, kind of the meh, I can take it, I can leave it, is needs a touch up. And then for the films we're not big fans of, Death Curse, And for those characters, I should say, that we're really, 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 really not fans of, we're gonna go to sucks on so many levels. If you know, you know. If you're Friday 13th fan, you know exactly what this is all about. Okay, so hey, we got Jamie in the house too. What's up, Jamie? Good to see you. Okay, so Rachel, let's start
Mhm.
this thing off. I want to get your thoughts first, and we will try to get to as many comments that we can from you guys. We can't get to everyone's comment, but if you do choose to send in a super chat, we'll make sure we get to your comment and or question, and we'll also allow you to help us get these villains where they need to be. Okay, so Rachel, let's start this off. Our first villain is the Xenomorph from the Alien
Oh
franchise.
my
So
god.
first of all, tell me what you think of the Xenomorph and tell me where you think it should go and why.
I think the Xenomorph is one of the scariest mofos out there. When I was a child and saw that mouth coming out of the second mouth, I swear to God, that image has stayed with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Like this thing, it's so I mean, when you finally see it for one thing, but Alien is such an atmospheric film. It's all
Yes.
about building that tension and not showing and I know that as the movies go on, we get to see it a bit more and things like that. But like
Hmm.
the Xenomorph, this thing, there's a reason it strikes terror in like that entire crew. There's a reason that it has survived and become like what it is and the way that so many people remember it and just oh yeah, this thing is the cream. I mean, come on. Like, I don't think you could put this in anywhere else. If you were going to put it any lower, I'd be wondering what is wrong with you. Or, like, did you not watch this movie? Did you not see what it did to everyone? Come
Uh,
on.
all right.
That's the
Okay.
cream.
We're going with the cream for the Xenomorph. Let's do this. Let's also just for some housekeeping here, because I know some folks are going to have some different opinions and so forth. So again, if for some reason you have a strong opinion of where this should go, or where you don't want it to go, if you send in a super chat, we will have that happen. We won't be able to get to everyone's comment though. And that's the thing, is we got like 50 villains. But
To get through.
people are like, it's iconic. Yeah. Some people.
Yep.
We got a couple of ooh babies though in there too, man. So this might actually come down to a little bit of a vote. For me, the Xenomorph, when we talk about this franchise, I think that the Xenomorph is a fantastic monster. I mean, you you really, it just scares the crap out of you. And the way that it's depicted, even in some of the lesser entries of the franchise, I think it's such a great monster. It looks amazing. It has
Yes.
features, the teeth, being in the shadows. I think it's
Mhm.
truly, when you talk about Giger and the design of the xenomorph, I always go back and think, what was this guy on? Because it's like, how do you come up
Yep.
with that shit? Right? It's
Mhm.
it's absolutely crazy. Um, I'm a huge fan of this franchise. For you guys that are newer to this channel, I love it. So I agree. Let's go to the cream. Let's go all
So,
the way up to
good
the
strong
cream.
start.
If we have, and this is what we're going to do, we're going to give at least a couple of seconds. If we have anybody that disagrees with that, this is the time to throw that out there. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to have this list be community. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's us talking about it, and hopefully some of you guys will jump in and help out too. Let's see. Death Central saying, I can accept cream for the xenomorph. I understand why. I'm just not big on alien creature in general, but it is the best of those. All right. All right. Nightfall saying the cream for sure. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hey, we got Val in the house. What's up, Val?
General
Good
is
to have you
in.
here.
Hey.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think that again, the Xenomorph is fantastic. And even when you talk about even the later sequels, like Romulus, I think they did a really good job of still making the Xenomorph scary. and
Oh,
it's all about.
I haven't seen the more recent ones.
Oh,
So
you
yeah, no,
haven't?
I know. It's on my list, but no, I haven't seen the more recent ones yet. So that's
Okay.
interesting to know that it's still a scary presence and still a scary villain in the newer films. That's really good.
Yeah, yeah, I think definitely check out, and you guys in chat let us know. I think definitely check out Alien Romulus. I think that Fede Alvarez, who directed it, who directed The Evil Dead from 2013 and Don't Breathe, I think he's a fantastic director. He really understands horror in a way where it's not just about the flash. You know what I'm saying? It's about building tension and
Mhm.
really creating that sense of dread. And he's really good at that.
Mm.
Um, so I think it's a good movie. It's definitely one you should check out. I think you should. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see who we have next. Here, here we go. The Strangers. Okay. Now, let me
Ah,
also, you guys might have guessed this already because I just, with the Xenomorph, referenced the whole franchise and even the newest film, Romulus, from just some months ago. So, when we're looking at a lot of these characters, they have franchises. So, in my mind, I'm kind of looking at the overall, arc of what they've been in the franchise, whether it's good or bad. So, that being said, Rachel, what do you think of The Strangers?
these dudes scare the crap out of me. So I have
Mm.
only seen the first Strangers. I haven't seen Prey at Night, and I will not watch chapter one. But I just know not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
But the original Strangers home invasion movies scare the shit out of me because they are so close to reality. And I also live in a rural area. So I live somewhere where my nearest neighbor is like, several hundred meters away. So
Yeah.
I live in one of those remote areas. So I think that these guys are very, very scary. I think that
Mhm,
one of the reasons they're scary is because of their reason, the because you were home thing. These guys, they're not
mhm,
they're not after a specific person. They're just looking to cause some chaos and cause some extreme harm. And that
mhm,
to me is really terrifying. Someone who doesn't really have like a main purpose or like a main nemesis. They just want to come here and mess things up for you. Now, that
mhm,
being said, as terrifying as I find them and as scary as I find the concept of them and what they do, they don't, and I mean, this might change in The Strangers Prey at Night, I don't know, but they don't really have distinct personalities. They're just behind the masks. They're not like,
mhm,
like villains that you can come back to time and again, like Freddy or Jason or something like that. So,
mhm,
because for me, they don't have those distinct personalities, I'd probably put them in Ooh Baby because I think they're really scary, they're really good, but they don't have that it factor that makes them like stick out in my mind as like the best of the best villains. So I think
mhm,
Ooh Baby is a good place to put them because they're very scary, but they're
mhm.
missing just that it factor, I think.
All right. Okay, here's my thoughts on The Strangers, okay?
Right.
Now,
Okay, we're gearing up here.
listen, look, there's no lying here. There's never been any lying. The concept, is great. Obviously home invasion stuff, that can be a really scary thing.
Mhm,
And I think the original has a lot of dread and tension. I really enjoy the original film. I think Prey at Night was a fun sequel. I think
mhm.
definitely if you enjoyed the first one, check out the second one. Chapter one, bro. Look, I don't know if and I've said this because I've talked about chapter one. I've done, review on it, a little bit of discussions on it a few times. And I'm really interested to see what chapter two is going to do. But we know that chapter one is basically a rehash of the original and the second one. They were cherry
Okay.
picking, they were cherry picking from both movies, okay?
Oh, man, no.
Yeah, bro. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know what's about to happen.
Like, I've seen
Um,
this before. We've
I
been down this road before.
It's like, bro, somebody grab a stick and take care of business here. I mean, come on. Now, but with that being said, I'm not just grading this on the movie alone, but also the characters themselves. A lot of what the strangers are able to do is based upon surprise, catching people off guard or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
You know, coming from the city, I first of all, the situations that the characters put themselves in, it's like, guys, come on, we got to be smarter than this. I don't want to keep
That is
ranting.
true. Yes.
But I'm gonna be maybe controversial here, and I think that The Strangers should actually go into needs a touch up. I wanna put
Okay.
I wanna put them in the 3rd level And it's not because, like I said, I really enjoyed the first movie, and I think the second movie is underrated. I have fun with it. Chapter one is like, wow, they should not have done that. I think Julie Julie in the chat cracked me up because she said something like, she said, please clarify, it's only the original strangers. She's not a fan of chapter one. She's oh boy.
Yeah.
Rory said I'd scare the strangers. And there we go.
Well, you can come over and be my bodyguard then, Rory, if they ever come to attack me.
There we go. Yeah, needs a touch up. Death Curse. Okay. Nightfall saying it's the cream. Love Pray at Night and the original. I do too, man. But I'm just saying, I want to be tough on some of these villains. You know what I mean?
I'm happy to defer to you because I haven't seen chapter one, and from what I've heard, it's terrible. So if we want to put it needs a touch up, I am happy for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Troy saying when the strangers cherry picks, it's annoying, but Romulus isn't overrated for the same reason. Well, I don't know. Here, I can answer that really easily. Number one, Romulus did add some really cool new stuff to it, and we hadn't seen a good alien movie in a long time. Pray at Night is not that old. But here's the thing, though. Chapter one, and I did, a couple of videos on it. Chapter one has barely anything it's adding, barely anything. Plus, the characters in it, God, they're so stupid, man. They really are. And I know you got to have stupidity in a horror movie. I know that. I've been watching horror movies since I was like 6. But god damn, some of the things that they're doing, man.
Sometimes they're too stupid.
As soon as they went into the town, into the diner, and you had 80,000 people giving you the side eye, I'm like, you know what? It's time to go to a McDonald's or something. So, anyways, all right. So look, Troy said, although I agree, the strangers kind of sucks. Oh Lord. Yeah. All right. So look, I'm going with needs a touch up on this one. If anybody has any big objection to it, if you send in a super chat, we'll move it for you. We'll move it up or down. But I think that right in the middle is where I want to put it. Because again, the people in the situations, they usually do a lot of stupid stuff, like super stupid stuff. And I just think that, looking at the 3 films in total, if it was just the first 2 films, I would have probably went with Ooh Baby. But chapter 1, man, wow.
Fair enough.
Wow. Okay.
Oh dear.
Jamie said needs a touch up is fair. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And we've got a member anniversary. Val is at 31 months, man.
That's awesome, Val.
Who does that? That's just crazy. And not to go on a tangent, because we've got 40 people here and they're like, let's just get to the tier list. I know, guys, but we don't get a chance to talk as much live, only usually a couple times a week. But just to say, Val, thank you so much for the support. 2024 was a really fun year for the channel. I think we had a lot of fun. I think the community had a lot of fun. We had a lot of great panels. Rachel, you've been a big part of that, so thank you as well. We can't do this without you guys. We just can't. If we didn't have support like this, then I would just basically just upload videos. The algorithm would probably, take to the channel better, to be quite honest. But I like talking with people, live, interacting, building friendships, relationships, and that's what makes this fun, because I have such a huge passion for this. I have a, Coriander Kill. We have a passion for talking about movies. So Val, number one, thank you. And she's saying, who would have thought, flipping through YouTube one night and stumble across a channel who understood my passion for The Shape. So glad I found this channel. Well, thank you too. Seriously. It's amazing how the love for these horror movies can really build some cool friendships, and also, relationships that help people. That's cool. That's really cool. So thank you.
We all love The Shape in all forms, even when he's a hobo.
Wait a minute now. Look, hey, hold on. Let's not get crazy.
I couldn't help myself.
let's not get crazy. But hey,
Yeah.
you know what though? And I'm gonna say this, and I know some people are gonna get at me in the comments. I can still watch Halloween 2 because it's a Michael
Mhm.
Myers movie, and
Exactly.
I
Nope.
wanna watch
I'm with
Michael
you, dude.
Myers. You
Mhm.
know, I I
100%.
I can sometimes, not be so happy with some choices, but I just love the franchise, man. So it is what it
Absolutely.
is. Yep.
Mm.
All right. Val, you rock. Okay. Next up on our villain list, we've got Art the Clown. We were going right into modern times, slasher extraordinaire. Rachel, what do you think of Art the Clown? And if you had to put him in one of these categories, where would you put him?
Okay, here's a confession. I have not seen any of the Terrifier films because Art,
Hmm.
bless his little face, he's a little too extreme for me. Just I've seen and heard about what he does and like what
Yeah.
yeah, his movies are like, and I know myself enough to stay away from them. That being
Yeah.
said, he is so infamous, you know. I mean, Terrifier is still a relatively newer franchise, and Art is already being put up there with, horror icons and people are already falling in love with him and loving his brand of horror and everything. So while it might not be for me, I'm
Hmm.
thinking that Art probably falls somewhere between Cream and Ooh Baby because he seems to be effective, from what I've
Hmm.
heard, from what I know about people who like the Terrifier franchise, and even the all the controversy around the most recent one. Art
Yeah.
seems to be working his way up to being like becoming a classic, and that's not easy to do.
No.
We have so many, new horror movies that come out and so many new villains. So to stand out in a sea of villains, which I do think Art has done, that
Hmm.
obviously means that there is something that is working there. So from my very limited knowledge of Art, I would say he probably ranks high up, but I can't say definitively because yeah, just a little too extreme for me, just not my brand of horror.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, art isn't for everybody. Okay. Myself, I've enjoyed the Terrifier films. I do understand why, it can be, a lot for folks or maybe too over the top. That being said, I can also appreciate the practical work that Damien does on these films. I can
Yeah.
appreciate the hustle, to get the funding for these films and staying away from studios, and relying on the fans. Like, we helped to make this movie what it is, and it's great to see that, especially for independent filmmakers. I love David Howard Thornton's physicality as Art. I mean, the guy is talented and hilarious, and to be able to do that without saying anything, just like we talk about
Yes.
with the great portrayals of Michael or Jason, it's hard to do that. So, but that being said, we've got three films, well, three major films. Obviously, he was introduced in stuff like All Hallows Eve. But with these three films, I will say I'll go with Ooh Baby. I'll go with
Okay.
Ooh Baby because I do appreciate and enjoy those films for what they are. I know that it can be a lot for a lot of other folks. But I'm going with Ooh Baby. You guys in the chat, let us know what you think. If you want Art higher or if you think he should be lower, let us know. If you send it to the super chat, we will make it happen. Let me just catch up to the chat for a quick second, too, because we also have another channel member anniversary, and it is for Russell, our man Russell, 10 months, so close to that year. And Russell, thank you as well for always being around, hanging out with
Mm.
us, also leaving comments. Like, that's, again, there's so many ways to help support a channel and a community. And Russell, you're here, you leave comments, you watch the videos, you're in the live chats, when I sometimes premiere a video. It's awesome to see, man. We're just glad that you enjoy what we do here. Um, and he's saying, happy to be here on this awesome channel. Hi, Night Rachel. This ranking is interesting with horror villains. Romulus was awesome. Yes,
There we
it
go.
was. It was. It really, really was. Let's see. Who else do we have in here? I just want to catch up. And Val, you're welcome. Seriously. You rock. Seriously. And Jamie said, Val's the general. This is her monkey farm. Jamie, how'd you sometimes you guys remember stuff that I would never think you'd remember. You know what? Just for that, and this will be a shout out because Jamie remembered it, but a shout out for Val and for Russell, for you guys with these channel member anniversaries. Um, like Jamie said, the general, this is her monkey farm, and this is what it looks like.
I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time.
There, there you go. I'm sorry. I haven't played that in a while. Val said she'll never forget when I played that clip for the first time. That's awesome. That is awesome. All right. We got Ben in the house. Ben Tramer himself surviving the explosion. There you go. Love it. Love it. Hope you're doing well, man. Okay. So I'm going with Ooh Baby with Art. So let's put Art there. Next up, we've got Abigail. What do you think, Rachel, of Abigail? If you have any thoughts, any, quick thoughts on the film, but also as a villain, and where would you put Abigail?
I really liked Abigail as a film and as a character, although I really, really do wish that the trailer had not given away that she was the vampire. I just think because
Right.
when you see the movie, it takes quite a while to make that reveal. And so I was like, why? Why would you give it away in the trailer? It would have been so much better to hint in the trailer or just show that they're going up against a big bad and then have the reveal be, holy Moses, it's the little girl. That was my only complaint, was that the trailer
Yeah.
just gave away too much. But the movie itself, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Abigail herself, a lot of fun. I love vampires. I have talked about this before on this channel. I am a huge vampire fan. I'm a Buffy fan
Hmm.
from way back when. So anything with vampires is always good. And I particularly find child vampires very interesting. I love like Claudia from Interview with the Vampire, because you
Yeah.
do see this dichotomy of them with their parents, and having this child and parent relationship. And Abigail is constantly trying to get her father's attention, and she goes through all these elaborate schemes to play with her
Mm.
food, to have control over people. And this is all stuff that I love in like vampire films. I also love that she's like a little bruiser, like when she
Yeah.
takes on the bad guys at the end, like she's not holding anything back. She's like a
Right.
tiny little spitfire, just like launching herself around. And she's got some really funny scenes. Like I love the scene where they come up to like her dance studio and she's just dancing with the headless corpse, and they're all
Yeah.
just like, what is happening here? So I think Abigail could go to Ooh Baby. I don't think she's quite cream. We've only got one movie, and
Right.
maybe if they do develop her further, if we get more movies, she'll become a better character. But I had a lot of fun. I think the little actress who played her was really good. I thought she was really good at playing both the pretend scared girl and then the
Yeah.
centuries old vampire who finally reveals herself. And I just really love how much she messes with them all. Like she's really having fun playing cat and mouse and just,
Yeah.
making it her own game. And I love stuff like that. So I think Abigail can go to Ooh Baby. She was very, very effective, I think.
Okay. All right. Real quick too in the chat. You guys really, really rock. Paula's going with needs a touch up. Ben, thank you so much. I don't know if I'm the classiest
Aw.
guy, but class is a very important thing, man. And we definitely
Mhm.
try to do the best we can do here and do it the right way. So, but thank you for saying that, man. I always appreciate the encouragement. Seriously. Um, for me, Abigail it's a tough one because I enjoyed the movie, but you're right, they gave it away, and there's a part of me, and I've talked about this before. There's a part of me that understands why they did that, as far as marketing, but I just feel like if they could have held that back, it would have made more impact in the film. That's number one. But number two, my one criticism of the film is I think that they kind of pulled back on the horror just a little bit. Like we had some really fun
Yeah,
moments.
I can understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun moments. I loved the cast. I really did. The
Yes.
cast was
Yes.
great. Catherine
Hmm.
Newton, Melissa was great.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
was awesome. A ballerina vampire. It's like
So
so, but I just feel like with this type of material, like, radio silence, like if we could, and I'm not comparing it, but I'm just saying, if you look at something like Ready or Not,
yes.
that film can lean into the dark comedy because of the whole essence of what the film is about, right? It's ludicrous in a way, anyways.
Mhm.
And of course, we don't know until the end, is it
Yes.
a bunch of shit, or not,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's that. But with Abigail, she's a vampire. So it's like all bets are off, baby. I mean, you're amongst some of the holiest of holies as far as monsters in film. So I think I think they should have leaned more into the horror and just the dread and the tension. I don't think they strung out the tension as much as they could have. And I don't know if that was intentional or not. But for me, I want to go with needs a touch up. I want to go
Okay,
right
okay.
middle.
You know, I'm okay with that. Again, I think for me, it's probably my love of vampires that pushes it, higher. You know, when you have a bias towards a certain genre and you love certain
Right.
creatures, that will make you maybe rank it higher than you normally would. So I'm happy to put her in needs a touch up. And again, because we
Yeah.
just do have the one movie, and I definitely hear what you're saying. They could
Mm.
have leaned more into the darkness, into the vampire, and a bit more
Yeah.
into the horror of that. So yeah, definitely get that.
Yeah. I mean, so that's how I'm feeling about it. You guys in the chat, let us know what you think. And also if you're a channel member, speak up because who knows if you make a good, you know, point here, that could help us out as well. And speaking of which, Val jumping ahead of me, and thank you so much saying if you'd like to become a channel member, all you have to do is hit the join button next to the subscribe button, or you can click that link. It helps us out for as low as a coffee per month. It really makes a difference in the channel and what we can do and our abilities. So, Death Central saying, I'll say it again, cream, baby, cream. Ooh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
big Abigail fan.
Yeah. Ben saying Abigail is a lot of fun. It really was. Yeah. Yeah, Rory, the trailer, I think I don't want to say it ruined it. But I just think man, I'm telling you, sometimes trailers irritate the crap out of me. They
Oh,
really
me
do.
too, especially more
Yeah.
recent trailers. They're always too long, they give away too much, plus I miss voiceovers
I do too, in a world.
in a world.
I love it. Yeah. Dennis Citrus saying Abigail needs a touch up. Okay. All right. Nightfall is going with Ooh Baby. MK saying it's mid tier. Okay. So this needs a touch up. Julie said we're at 30 likes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that, Julie. Val saying I have to agree with Rachel. The reveal in the trailer kind of put it down on watching the movie, but still was a great watch. Needs to go into Ooh Baby. Ooh, okay. So we're kind of back and forth here. Russell saying Ooh
We've
Baby.
got a few.
Yeah, so we're stuck in between this. You know what we're gonna do? Let's do a poll. Let's do a
Nice.
poll. And while I set that up, Val is also helping us out as usual. She's got Rachel's channel in the link. So make
Thanks,
sure if you
Val.
haven't subscribed, subscribe to Rachel's channel. You will not be disappointed. And it's funny because, and I'm gonna put this poll up while I'm talking, but when I first saw you on your channel, um, I just said to myself, this lady, she's awesome. You know what I mean? And
You're
I think I think that it's so cool that you can meet folks um through their channel work. And for you guys that aren't as familiar with Rachel's work, go to her channel. It's fun. She has a wonderful personality. So seriously,
cute.
help us out. Okay. So we've got
Alrighty,
the
let's see
poll
how this poll
live.
goes. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you guys can vote, we got almost 40 people here. It'd be great to have all of
Mhm.
you guys vote. Just let us know if Abigail should be an Ooh Baby, our second tier, or should she be and needs a touch up, the middle tier, the third tier.
Yes.
Um,
All
let's see.
right. Come on, people, let's get the votes in.
Rory saying, as a massive Friday 13th guy, I'm loving the tier. Please don't change this. This channel is the cream.
Tonight's
Thanks
channel
so
is the cream. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. You guys are cool. Really. Um, absolutely, Val. Rachel's been an amazing addition to the community. So glad
Thank you.
she's here. Yeah. No doubt.
Thanks, Rory.
No doubt.
Rory
And yeah,
P just
Rory just
subscribed.
subscribed.
That's awesome. All right,
Cool.
we're at 50-50 at the moment, people, but we've only got 14 votes. Come on, there's 35 in the chat. Let's vote. Let's vote. Let's see if we can get
Yeah.
Abigail to ooh baby.
Yeah.
50-50. It's gonna be
50-50.
close.
I guess so. Well, in the chat, I saw folks kind of, on both sides. So that was kind of cool to see. Again, and again, I'm not, at least the way I'm looking at it, everyone can have their own opinion. But the way I'm looking at it, it isn't just the movie alone. I'm thinking
True.
of the villain too. So that's what makes it interesting, you know. but again, like you said, Rachel, we've only had one movie, so
Yes.
you only have that one opportunity to grade her. All right. Russell says, I wouldn't want to run into Abigail's dad in a dark alley. He was scary.
See, normally I'd agree with you, Russell, but like when it comes to vampires, I'm like, no, no, please, please find me in a dark alley. I've been waiting for like 40 years. Still no
Yeah.
vampire has found me in a dark alley. I'm very disappointed.
There you go. Oh man. All right. So we're gonna go another couple seconds and then we're gonna close down the vote. It is still 50-50. My
It's still,
goodness.
it is sitting pretty at 50-50.
Yeah.
Knight might have to make an executive decision for this one.
I might. Or you know what I might do? Actually, yeah, let's get ready to close it down. We might have to go to the audience themselves, just like pick someone out of the blue and just say, which one does it go with? Oh, we just went
Oh,
53%.
oh, it tipped over. Look at
It
that.
did. It did.
Mhm.
Wow. All right. Okay. Let's get ready to close this thing down. I'm going to hit end poll. Boop, 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 boop. Wow, it made it to Ooh Baby.
Look at that. Abigail made it through.
All
Little
right.
scrapper that she is.
That's right. That's right. Good job,
Excellent.
guys. Good job. Okay, next up, Rachel, we've got the monster. When you talk about horror legend status, Frankenstein, the movie, it's just obviously lasted for decades and decades and decades. When you think about Frankenstein's monster as a villain, what do you think and where would you put it?
I mean, he's one of the OGs,
Right.
in literature and film. Now I'm one of those people that's usually more on the side of Frankenstein is more the villain than the monster. The monster is just, I mean, he's misunderstood, man. He's just trying to make friends. He didn't know that yeeting that little girl into the lake was going to be a bad thing. He's just he's just playing. He
Yeah.
just wants to understand the world. But no, I
Yeah.
look, Boris Karloff is so good in this role. I mean, you
Yes.
watch because the monster doesn't speak. It's all through his mannerisms and his body language and his physicality. And there's
Mhm.
a reason that he's still a classic. There's a reason that you can still watch this movie, so many
Mhm.
years later, and it is still so good and so atmospheric and so effective. So I
Mm.
would put the monster in cream because I mean, without him, we might not have all of the huge plethora of monsters that we have now. So many monsters take inspiration from him, and so many actors
True.
have taken inspiration from Boris. So yeah, he has to be cream. Like, he really can't go anywhere else. What do you reckon?
You know what? I'm gonna agree 1000%. This is about as easy as it's gotten so
It
far.
is, isn't it? Yeah.
But you made a great point that I think is undeniable is that the place in history and the people who've been inspired by this character. Without this character, who knows what the trajectory of horror would have been. I think this is a very important character. I remember when I first saw Frankenstein as a child, it scared the shit. It just scared the
That
shit out
is
of me.
completely understandable.
Yeah. I mean, and it's been such a inspiration throughout all of these decades, multiple films, multiple spoofs, and yeah. Oh my God, I was just thinking about it. Scott beat me to the punch, said, I want to watch Young Frankenstein. That's right. Putting on the Ritz. um, but yeah, Frankenstein, just a fantastic film. The monster has to go in the cream. Has to. If anyone disagrees, now is the time to let us know. This is the time. But you made the greatest point, I think, is just the inspiration that this character has given to the genre. Val also saying the cream, the creamiest of the cream. There you go, Val. That's too cute. All right. Julie also saying, I want to watch Young Frankenstein. Young Frankenstein. Let me ask this too. What? Wait a minute. I was just about to ask a question, and Ben just almost gave me a heart attack. He said, I've never watched a Frankenstein movie. Ben, brother,
Not even like the 90s one with Robert De Niro, which by the way is very underrated. Everyone should watch
very
that one.
underrated. I agree.
Oh,
I
Ben, you
agree.
got some watching to do.
Yeah. Ooh, please, please, please check out Frankenstein, Ben, whenever you get a chance, bro. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Man, it makes me almost want to do like a watch party of it. It's like,
Definitely.
right? Okay. Um, I lost my train of thought before I saw his comment because it like totally caught because Ben watches horror, bro. He knows his horror.
Yes,
So,
yes,
you
Ben
know,
does. Mhm.
so that caught me off guard. But it just goes to show that there's so many great movies that we've never gotten a chance to see them all, you know. So
Mhm.
same thing here. There's movies I haven't seen yet either. Troy coming in hot off the press, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Saying taking the wording as literal as I can. The monster should be low. He's not a villain, like Rachel said. He he's Lenny from Of Mice and Men. That's
That's
true.
a good comparison, yes.
He's not evil. That is a great point.
True.
That is a
Mhm.
great point. Well, and I guess what I mean, oh, he says, but I'm fine with Cream. Because I was about to say, Troy, let us know if you think he should be moved, because I think that would cause a great discussion. Um, and I guess maybe, and I know what you mean, the literal definition. I think it's more so how he's viewed, you know, in the film. Because of course, which
Yes,
he
absolutely.
it's sad. And that's also what which makes the character so interesting and the movie. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
No doubt, no doubt. Okay, so Troy, let's do a quick clip for you as well. I know you have a couple of favorite ones, but let's do a different one just for the fun of it. I don't know if you've seen this one, Rachel. I'm always trying to think of
Oh,
ones that you guys have
awesome.
not seen. Um, let's
Excellent.
do let, let's do this. This is a crazy one. You know, Rachel, sometimes even some very talented directors have some crazy, silly moments, and it might look like this.
Throw me a bone. I said, lawnmower man, get up off of my lawn.
I'm sorry. I love Key and Peele so much. Oh, okay.
Oh, dear. Okay.
You guys rock. Thank you so much, Troy. Much appreciated. Okay, so next up, so we got the monster up in cream. I don't think we have anyone that wants to change that. Next up, we've got Megan. Ooh, this will be an interesting conversation. Ra- Rachel, what do you think of Megan? Where does Megan belong?
There's no lying on this channel, alright? Mithrigan over here does not impress, okay? She is just
Uh,
I'm sorry. I saw this movie at the cinema. I
yeah.
was I was so bored. I'm sorry. This little chick, she did nothing for me. Every time I
Ooh.
saw her stupid plastic face, I was like, "Girl, you ain't Chucky. You ain't never gonna be Chucky. So don't even try." It's just so I just I don't know, I just could not get on board. She looked too fake, like I couldn't buy her as an actual doll. I just no, man. That weird little growly, crawly thing she did towards the bully kid. I mean, mind you, that was like one of the only scenes where I thought, okay, Megan, you're actually doing something decent. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah, man. I could not get on board with this chick. Mithrigan's going down to death curse. She can
Ooh.
stay down there.
Ooh,
There's
okay.
no
All right.
lie in here.
There's never been any line here. And 2 plus 2 always equals 4. All right. Um, wow, these guys are all over the place here. We've got needs a
Mhm.
touch up from a couple folks. 3 or 4 folks saying needs a touch up. Let's see. Russell saying the cream, Nightfall saying the cream. Val was not impressed because it is not in the file. She said almost
Not
left the theater.
in the file. Oh god. Yeah, no. See, I don't walk out of movies unless they're really, really bad because it's like I paid for this, but I feel you, Val. I'm with you.
Oh man. Wow, this is all over the place. Man, I'm
Wow,
okay.
yeah.
This is what we're gonna do. Okay. So you're going with Death Curse, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. We've got a couple of needs a touch up. This okay, let me say what I think too. I think that I actually I actually was okay with the movie. I don't think it was great. But I had fun with it in parts. I think they could have, another example like Abigail, I think they could have leaned more into the horror
Yes,
and the tension.
definitely.
Some
Mhm.
people get naturally creeped out by clowns or dolls or robots or whatever. So I don't necessarily. So it didn't have any scare factor for me. I appreciated a lot of what the story was trying to do. And Allison Williams, I'm a fan of hers. I thought she was pretty good. The young actress, I
Yes,
thought
I
she
do
was
like
pretty
the
good
young
too.
actress who is in it, yes.
Yeah. So I'm kind of torn, but as a villain, looking at a villain, I have to agree with you. I'd go with Death Curse.
Oh.
I'd go with Death Curse. So if anybody wants to move Mithrigan, I love the
Freaking
way you did that. If anyone thinks that Megan should be somewhere else, if you send it in a super chat, we will actually move Megan.
yeah.
It's too funny. All right, we'll give you guys a couple seconds to think about that. I'll catch up to the chat. Too funny. Scott saying the poor man's Chucky sucks on all levels. There you go. Wow.
Mhm.
We literally have had people vote on every category. Every category has had a vote. This is interesting. Okay. Julie saying I liked Megan a lot. She's a dang. Hey, well, hey, I enjoyed it too. I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but I didn't want to walk out. I was interested in it enough, but I do think they should have leaned more into the horror. You know, um, Super Tenor is in the house. What's up? Good to see you, bro. Um, and we've got MK's and Megan, while entertaining, really just ripped off the Child's Play remake in a lot of ways. So there you go, too. Yeah, there you go. Okay, guys, let's.
Oh,
Willis
Willis coming
came in.
through.
Willis
Oh,
came in.
he
Wow,
wants to save Mithrigan.
wow. Willis said we're going to Ooh Baby. Well, hey, we got it.
Okay. Well, we gotta follow. Oh no.
This is crazy. Look at Julie's like, woohoo, Willis. There you go. All
We'll
right.
put her up in Ooh Baby, and Abigail can beat the crap out of her while she's up there. So it works out.
Megan got saved. Willis,
Wow.
wi- that was crazy. Right at the end, right at the bell. Thank you so much for that too, Willis. We appreciate that. Let's do a a quick clip for you, Willis. When I saw that super chat come up, it was like a crazy moment, and this is how I felt. There it is. Thank you so much, man.
Super chat clip you ever played for me was that one, and I was new to the channel, so I didn't know that you did these random clips, and I just remember you played it, and I was like, "What the hell was that? What just happened? This was like it was the most random thing ever." And then I got used to the streams, but that was a great one to start off.
Yeah, that was a fun one. When I first found that one, I was like, "What?" Julie, I know Julie loves that one. Oh Lord. Okay, so Megan got moved up. You guys, wow, that was crazy. Okay, next up, we got Captain Spaulding, the late great Sid Haig from obviously a lot of movies, most notably he was this character in the Rob Zombie films, Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, and even Three from Hell. Rachel, what do you think of Captain Spaulding as a horror villain, and where should we put him?
I can't comment on this one that much. I am not a zombie girly. I mean, the only reason I've seen Halloween is because it's Halloween. It's now that being said, I have seen House of a Thousand Corpses once. I just remember there being so much blood in that movie that I
Yeah.
actually started to feel ill. So
Ooh.
and yeah, no, it was bad. And like my best friend who like never gets scared at horror movies, even like back in the day, this was like the one film that like really freaked her out because it was so intense. And I do
Mhm.
remember these guys. I remember the Firefly Gang, and I remember them being absolutely insane and really scary. So I'd probably put him up high, like maybe Ooh Baby, but like again, I've only seen this once. I think Zombie needs some therapy. I think that dude has really got some issues. And his
There you
movies are
go.
just, they're not for me. So I can't really contribute that much to this. So I might leave it to you to put this guy in the category.
Okay. Well, I think Captain Spaulding is a highlight of these films. I think just, Sid's performance, his dialogue, he just has he just in these films he has a certain way, a certain charisma that you just pay attention to him. Some great standout scenes and all of that. I definitely think he's got to go to at least to Ooh Baby. I think Ooh
Okay.
Baby is a great place for him to be. He's funny as hell, ruthless when he needs to be, and I mean, I think that's where he's got to go. So guys, we'll give you guys a quick minute as I catch up to the chat. If anybody, you guys are too funny. If anybody has a say for where they want Spalding, now's the time to do it. Let's. Nightfall said Spalding is nothing but cream. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. Let's see. Let's see. Troy said Megan is touch up being generous. There you go. Hey, well, listen, if you guys want to move anybody, we can do that too. Um, that was a big jump. She jumped up 2 spots. It was
She
like,
went up 2
wow,
spots. Like that was impressive.
it was impressive. We got my man Eric in the house. Said I always enter the
Hey.
stream at the wrong time. I know you love that clip, Eric. I know you do. All right. Yes, Ben, absolutely. Rejects was definitely an ode to exploitation. Yep. Yep. Um, Death Central saying, I don't like this clown personally. Needs a touch up. Ooh, okay. All right. Interesting. So we got a couple different ideas here for where we're going to put it, or put him, I should say. JPEG in the house. What's up? Spalding is the cream, charismatic, evil, loved what he does, and he's loyal to his family. That's true. That's true,
True,
Eric.
very true, yes.
He was loyal. Yeah. I know, Scott. I knew somebody was gonna say that. What's wrong, kid? Don't you like clowns? Don't you think we're fucking funny? It was a great
No.
scene. Okay. So we're gonna go with Ooh Baby. We're gonna go with Ooh
Okey dokey.
Baby. All right. Next up, we've got Carrie. We've got Stephen King's Carrie, one of our previous champions on Battle World. So, Rachel, what do you think about Carrie um, as a character? Throughout the films, and where should she go?
I love my girl Carrie. Absolutely love her. Okay. I love the movie. I love the book. I love Sissy Spacek in the lead role. Oh,
Mm,
she's so great. Now, this is another one where, similar to the monster, I don't think Carrie is actually the villain. The true villains of this movie are Margaret White and Chris. Obviously Carrie just gets her final moment. But as an overall character and with her final moment, oh yeah, this girl is the cream. I mean, Sissy
mm,
Spacek performance is so good. I just think she's so great at portraying the build-up in Carrie. You can see it bubbling towards the surface, as she goes through all the abuse she goes through at her mother's hand and the cruel teasing that she endures and everything like that. And I think,
hmm
that lead up to the Black Prom when she's just arrived at the prom and she's so happy
I
and she's with
know.
Tommy and she's having the time of her life. And I mean, every time I watch that movie, it's kind of like when you watch Titanic and you know that the iceberg's gonna hit, but you just
Yeah.
think, come on, just this one time. Every time I
Yeah.
watch Carrie, I'm like, just this one time, just don't drop the blood on her. And then
Right.
it does. And then that cold, like fury that Sissy Spacek manages to emanate, like the eyes and the stillness
Yeah.
of her, and I mean, I saw Carrie was one of the earliest horror movies I saw, and I just
Mm,
remember the Black Prom just freaking the crap out of me. Just everything that happens in that scene is so
yeah.
amazing. So, yeah, no, even though she, again, not technically the villain, but because
Right.
she is the main character and she is the main, I guess we can say, antagonist,
hmm
Carrie's got to be cream. I mean, she's the OG Stephen King girly. She's amazing and she's still a classic to this day and
Mm,
referenced in so many things. I mean, how many times do you hear in like TV shows, "Oh, we're gonna pull a Carrie or we're gonna carry her." It's like it's
yeah.
such a common Scream reference. And look, the remakes are not great. I don't know if everyone's seen them, but like there was one in the early 2000s, and then there was the Chloe Grace Moritz one. Both of those are okay, but if we're going OG Sissy Spacek, definitely
Mhm.
Cream. What do you reckon,
Yeah.
Knight?
Well, I think that when we talk about Carrie as a character, um, and she's definitely not the villain, of this story, and we know that it's her mother and Chris as well. But she's on the list because she has a huge body count, and
He does.
she's the main antagonist. She's the recognizable character. That being said, you feel for her
Oh
in this
yeah.
finale.
Hmm.
Well, throughout the whole movie, but definitely when you get to the
Yeah.
finale, and the
Mhm.
look, like this movie has been around for so long. I'll never forget the first time I saw it. I saw it on a Sunday afternoon. My dad is chilling out on the couch, reading the paper, dozing off. I'm sitting on the living room floor and I'm watching this friggin' movie, and it's like building up to this moment.
Mhm.
Um, and it really made an impression on me as a young kid.
Yeah.
I think her performance is fantastic. I really, really do. Now, here's the thing. Villain wise, when we just look at her and everything that's going on, I think that she should go to Ooh Baby. And
Okay.
the reason why is obviously she was put into that situation to use
Mhm.
her powers the way she did, right? Because like before that, she's freaked out by the powers. She's learning about her
Yeah.
powers. When she used it, it wasn't to kill. When she knocked that
Yeah.
little kid off of the bike, it was just like to be
Mhm.
like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
At the end,
exactly.
at the end, she is so lost, and she's lost so much that she's just choosing death for everyone, and anyways, it was a great film. I'm going with Ooh Baby. What do you guys in the chat think? Let's catch up with these guys. um JPEG saying Carrie is a sympathetic character despite being driven to exact her vengeance. Very true.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yep. Guyver's in the house. What's up, Emperor Guyver? Let's see. Let's see. I want to catch it. What's up, Jason? Good to see you.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah, Sissy SpaceX wide-eyed look. It was just iconic. So iconic.
Amazing. Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. Let's
Yep.
see. Who else? Carrie is brutal. I agree. Scott saying Sissy's performance was magnificent, so she gets my vote for the cream.
Mhm.
Val is going with Ooh Baby. Starts off this sweet, nice girl to a wicked villain at the end. I know, I know. Death Central is going with Ooh Baby. All right. Gene saying it's the cream. Cream, cream, cream. All right. So look, we're gonna go to Ooh Baby. If anybody wants to change that, we'll give you guys a quick couple of seconds. You can you can come in at the rescue like Willis did for Megan. Oh, that was great.
Hey, I don't like Carrie sitting there next to Mithrigan, okay? Like, that's not right.
That is crazy. Isn't that crazy? I gotta
It
admit,
is nuts.
it looks a little weird, doesn't it?
It does not look right. But that's how these tier lists end up. I remember some of the movie ones, you'd see some movies next to other movies in Cream, and it'd be like, "Oh, what's that doing there? That shouldn't be next to
Right?
that movie."
I know, I know. All right. Next up, we're heading into to legend status here, possible legend status. We'll see what happens
Mhm.
with our thoughts. Chucky is up next. What do you think about Chucky, and where should Chucky go?
Now this is the doll that has my vote, okay? Chucky, this little effer. Oh my god, did this little punk scare the absolute crap out of me as a child. Oh my god. He's so horrifying. It's not right. No,
Yeah.
I think Chucky is honestly one of the best horror movie villains out there. I mean, Child's Play
Mm.
is such a fun movie. Although that being said, part of me does kind of wish that they hadn't had that scene at the beginning where you see Brad Dourif put his spirit into Chucky, that they'd gone with that mystery of like, is it the kid or is the doll actually moving? And then that would have been like a great reveal at the end of like,
Yeah.
oh no, shit, it's actually the doll. The doll is he's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but no, Chucky is, I mean, he's great. As the movies go on, he gets more and more foul-mouthed, he becomes more
Yep.
entertaining, and I know he does sometimes lose a little bit of a scare as we go on to, like, the later movies. I also
Mm-hmm.
think he's hilarious in the TV show. I haven't seen all of it, but the bits that I did see, Chucky is still really fun. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, Chucky's gotta be the cream. He has to go up there, he can't go anywhere else.
All
What do you
right.
reckon, Knight?
Well, I think, and by the way, Ben, catch you later, man. Hope you have a good night. Hope to see you soon.
Oh god,
Enjoy the
that's
film.
good luck.
Right? To me, Chucky, look, Chucky, there are some characters that just they deserve their legendary status. I think that Child's Play is still a fantastic film. I really enjoy the sequel. I enjoy a lot of the other entries. Obviously, he got friggin' crazy as time went on, but
Yeah,
that was just how it goes.
it is,
Brad
yes.
Brad
Mhm.
Dourif just gave so much charisma to this character. He's got to go to the cream, man. He's
Yes,
got to.
absolutely.
I mean,
Mhm.
if anybody if anybody wants to debate that, now's the time. Let us know. Let us know, because I just think that the body of work and what they were able to do with this character far exceeded any expectations
Oh,
back in
100%.
1988.
Yeah, I know, they never would have expected that small little movie to turn into, like, a whole franchise and become so iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And he was able to stand toe to toe with some of the greatest,
Mhm.
back in the 80s and the 90s, and obviously still going strong today.
Yep.
All right. Willis said, Chucky's my dude, but he's a comedy act now. Yeah, it's true. It's
Yeah, a
true.
bit. Mm.
Hmm. Yep. Scott's going with Ooh Baby. We got a lot of creams in
Okay.
here. Troy's saying Chucky's the cream, no doubt. It's Easy
Mm.
Street. Okay. All right. Nightfall's going with Ooh Baby. So we got people going both sides here. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Um some of the stuff these guys are saying is cracking me up. Uh Val saying Chucky for me is needs a touch up like the OG, but it didn't capture my interest enough to watch the others in the
Okay.
franchise. Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Let's see. Yes, yes. Okay, so listen, guys, we're gonna go to the cream. If
Yes.
anybody disagrees with that, we'll give you guys a couple of seconds. There were a lot of different categories being thrown out there too. If you send in a super chat, we will move Chucky. But I think, yeah, I just think that there's been more highs than lows. And when you're talking about a character that
Yeah,
is,
I
you
agree.
know, 40 years old, 35 years old, whatever it is, yeah, Val said, punt his little ass right out the window. It's too funny.
That's
Oh,
brilliant.
oh my God. Too funny, man. All right. She said punt his little ass. There you go.
A great visual.
Right? I know.
Mhm.
Rory says Chucky's the cream scares me. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um Emperor saying the only horror character to still have an ongoing continuity, even side by side with a remake, Chucky is the cream. That's a good point
That is
too.
actually true. Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. Mhm.
Yeah. I gotta admit, yeah, it's like, yeah, the continuity, and that's so tough to do over time. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen a lot of even the greats have issues with that. So that's a great point. Very cool. Okay. Next up, we're going to Valentine, the Cupid killer. What do you think, Rachel?
Wow,
Valentine.
okay, yeah, I've only seen Valentine once, and that
Ooh.
was a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was, like, a really fun, cheesy little slasher from, like, the late '90s, early 2000s, and I think
Yep.
that that killer was actually kind of a fun killer, especially the end of the movie where you got kind of the bait and switch of who was, like, actually the killer. So I thought that was
Hmm.
really fun. But that being said, it wasn't that memorable. There wasn't really anything that really stood out that much about the killer. And like even thinking back now, I can't remember anything that was like that great. So I think I'll just go run of the mill, straight down the middle, needs a touch up. What about you?
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. There's a
Mhm.
lot of fun stuff going on with it. Um, but I think as a killer, it's like, okay, I, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, again, I'm not judging this on the film. I'm talking about the actual killer, and obviously it's the one movie. I could go to Death Curse on this thing, man.
You know
It's
what?
I,
I'd be okay with that too if you
y-
decided to go there, because yeah, really
yeah,
not that memorable.
yeah. It's like, I don't want to have to use my kung fu, but look. I'm just saying. All right. So I'm going with Death Curse. What do you guys in the
Yeah.
chat think? Let's figure this out. Um Needs a touch up.
Mhm.
Ooh, Russell going with the cream.
Cream.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Woo. Let's see. Nightfall's going with Ooh Baby. Willis
Okay.
is going with Death Curse. There we
Mhm.
go. There we go. Now we're talking. Um let's see. Anyone else? Julie says, "Dang." It happens like that sometimes, Julie. But she's saying needs a touch up. Okay. MK saying, "Ooh, baby." All
Okay.
right. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. Jason saying, "I love the movie Valentine." Yeah, it's a good movie. I'm
It
surprised
was
it didn't
fun.
have a sequel either. Yeah.
Mm.
And I can't remember um what it did for box office numbers, but I was also surprised that it didn't have a follow-up because I thought it was a cool concept. I think the cast was fun. Had a
Yeah.
couple good kills. It would have been something interesting to see, a whole mythology developed around it, but it never happened, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
which is weird. Look, they make sequels out of dumb movies, man.
I know, and especially around that time, like the late 90s, early 2000s was definitely a time for making, like, subpar sequels. So, yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
that one never got picked up.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. And Julie, that's great. We have a soul successor with heart eyes. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how good that is. It looks like it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it looks like we're going we're going down the death curse, man. It's like, bro,
Yeah, I
come
think
on.
that's fair.
Yeah, yeah. I was 2 seconds away from saying sucks on so many levels, but I'm trying. I'm trying. All right. Next up, we've got Damien, the Omen.
Dang.
The Omen. So when you're talking about the Antichrist, Rachel, as a villain, as a horror villain, where does Damien go?
Yeah, Damien's he's creepy, definitely, and, people are
Mhm.
going nuts around him, flinging themselves out of windows and, Rottweilers following him around, but I think for Damien, it's less like, I know that he's, like, the devil's son and he's evil and whatever, but aside from pushing his mother off the railing, it's more that everything around him is bad, like, he goes somewhere
Yeah.
and everything around him starts to act psycho, like, he himself doesn't actually get that much done. It's really everything else and all like the Rottweilers and all the evil stuff around him. So I think Damien can go right down the middle. He needs a touch up. And when he gets older and he's in the boarding school and he's like little,
Yeah.
I don't know, he looks like a little Nazi or something. And then he's Sam Neill, which I'm sorry, I never bought. Okay. Sam Neill as the devil, like, no, it's just not going to work. So yeah, Damien
Wow.
needs a touch up.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Wow, Rachel's going hard on this one. Okay.
No
Um,
lies.
no lies, man. All right, so Nightfall saying needs a touch up. Let's see.
Definitely.
Let's see. And Julie said, Julie said, "Is this the original or remake Damien?"
Oh god, if
It,
it's the remake, he's going straight down to sucks on so many levels because just no.
they didn't need to do a remake. I mean,
They
don't get me
really
wrong.
didn't.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Liev Schreiber, and I think Julia Stiles
Too.
was good
Yeah.
in it. So it wasn't horrible to me, but it was just unnecessary, totally
Yeah.
unnecessary. Um,
Mhm.
it's all the versions of Damien, Julie, and what we think of Damien as a character, as a villain. But yeah, the remake was was
That
totally
was
unnecessary.
terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Troy saying Rachel hits it again. Damien doesn't do much touch up for me. Okay, all right. Pierre also saying, not a fan of Damien. I'd say needs a touch up. Okay, let's see. Julie said remake Damien was slapping with his killer looks. There you go. There you go.
So
Scott
good.
coming in to preach a little bit, saying, say what you will about the final conflict, but Damien was pure evil and Sam Neill was awesome. There you go.
Neil
There
is
you go.
awesome. I'm sorry. He's the Jurassic Park guy to me. I can't buy him as the devil. It's just not gonna work.
I know, I know, I know.
Alan Grant, that's who he is.
That's who he is. That's who he'll always be. That's right.
Exactly.
Uh, Julie saying,
Oh,
what? I love the remake, Damien. There you go. There
you
you
do
go.
you, Julie.
That's right. Well, hey, I didn't hate it, but for me being such a fan of the original, and they didn't
Mm.
really change a lot. So to me,
That was the
and
thing. Yeah.
yeah, and again, that's a slippery slope when you do a remake because you want it to honor the original material,
Mhm.
but you don't want to like totally go left field, like when
Yes.
you're
Yes.
panhandling for cash in the fields of Haddonfield. Don't do that because people are gonna.
No hobos. No hobos. We do not need we don't need hobo Damien panhandling down with Michael off in the cornfields, okay?
We know. When I first saw Hobo Myers, this is the look that I had. This is the look that I had. It's just what? Like, what's going on? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take this to that level. But what I'm saying though, Julie, the remake was fine. I just think it was, it was a little unnecessary, but it was fine. I enjoyed the actors that were in it though. Okay, I've lost total track here. Oh, look at this. Rachel, you're jumping in. Let's get Carrie away from what reject Chucky. She's the cream. Oh my gosh. All right. There we go. We got to make it happen.
My
Wow.
girl belongs in the top tier.
Okay. All right. It did look a little weird. I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. Megan's there. That's the thing. We can listen, guys. We can move people down as well if you
Yes.
send in a super chat. All right, Rachel. That was you caught me off guard with that. Thank you so much. Let's let's speaking of
Oh no.
that, I don't want to do this one. It's so mean. All right, I'm gonna switch this up. Okay, let's do another clip. Of course, you guys don't know what I was gonna do, but let's do another clip. Sometimes, Rachel, you just need a little help, and it might look like this.
Are you high? Make the fastest reservation. That's what time to lose. I'm heading for you. What are you doing? Are you crazy?
That image is burned in my brain forever now.
I'm sorry. Look guys in the audience, I wish StreamYard would let us do this. I think it would be so cool for the interactive aspect. But the look, I can still see Rachel when I play a clip or anyone that's on the panel. The look on her face when I played this clip, and it's just so funny, man. This is why I love doing this type of stuff, man. Just to see the smiles and the reactions. All right. So let's get back to business here. So Damien,
Yes, where
it
is
looks
Damien
like
end up?
it looks like we're all over the place. Let's go to look. So you're saying needs a touch up, right?
Yeah. I think he's
Okay.
very middle of the road for me.
All right. Let's go to needs a touch up because we had a lot of folks in the chat also saying let's go to needs a touch up. We'll go there. You guys are too funny. We got Hayden coming in. Thank you so much
Yes,
for the super chat.
awesome.
Saying, hey guys, love the Night Watch streams. You and Autop stream with Cody and the guys are inspiring. Created my channel because of how great y'all are. Love. Hey, well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Awesome. And welcome to the chat. We appreciate you hanging out. Hope you're enjoying this conversation. We're having a blast. It's actually sometimes these streams kind of
A
go
lot
off
of
the
fun.
rails.
They
Yeah.
do.
But thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it. Seriously. Um Julie says, Rachel, Megan's TikTok dance didn't win you over.
Did not. I'm sorry, but that dance was so stupid. It was so
I
dumb.
know.
I'm with the security guard. I'm like, what is happening? And then at the end of it, it's like, what do I do? Do I applaud? I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
It's just no good.
Right. Right. Oh my God. Willis saying this is fun. It is. It is. And you
It
guys
is.
saying hello to Hayden. Thank you so much for being so kind to folks, new folks into the chat. We got May Ann in the house too. What's up, May? Good to see you.
Mhm.
Hope you're doing well. All right. Okay. So let's get back on track here. Next up, we've got Dracula himself, Christopher Lee. I mean, we're talking about Dracula in general, but you know, that image of Christopher Lee will always be iconic to me. What do you
Uh-huh.
think about Dracula? I kind of have an idea, but tell us what you think and where Dracula should go.
Obviously, I love my man Drac over here. He's like, one of the OG vampires. We wouldn't have so much vampire lore and vampire fiction without the Count over here. And Christopher Lee, I mean, that scene in particular where poor Jonathan Harker's just like turned around and like, what is happening? Because this is like his big reveal. And I love the scene where like, I think it's almost like they're cats. Like Dracula and one of his brides are fully having like a cat fight over like Jonathan, and poor Jonathan's just like, what is happening? And trying to like save the poor damsel in distress. But look,
Right.
as much as I love Christopher Lee and he is a great Dracula, I
Mm.
can't put him in the cream because he's not Gary Oldman. And I'm sorry, but no one is ever gonna beat my man Gary as the Count. I mean,
Oh,
I have
okay.
crossed oceans of time to fight. It's like,
Yes.
come on, like it's just not gonna happen. But Christopher Lee, he is a damn good Dracula. I think he does
Yeah.
the gentlemanly count part really well, luring
Yeah.
poor Jonathan, in, and then you just get this horrific image. But like I said, he can't be the cream because he's not Gary Oldman, so he's going to Ooh Baby for me. What do you
All
reckon?
right. You know, that's interesting that you put it like that. And just to say Coriander, I mean, she loves that version of
Yes.
Dracula, Bram
Yeah.
Stoker's Dracula. I mean, she
Mhm.
loves that movie so much. And it is fantastic. And that quote, I mean, it's just awesome, man.
Right. Yeah.
Crossed oceans of
Oceans of
time.
time to
I love
fight.
it.
No, Gary took the movie just to say that line. He's actually said it. He's like, I did this role because I just wanted to say that line. And I'm like, yeah, I'd want to say that line too to Winona Ryder. I get it.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know what's going on. Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, look, Dracula, for me as a horror fan, has so much weight. I love this character so much. I think that there have been fantastic iterations of Dracula. There's also been some that were like, yeah, whatever, whatever. Um, as a child, even just saying his name was kind of like, oh, you just get a little bit of a
Yeah,
chill. Uh,
definitely.
I don't know, man. I want to go with the cream on this, man. Because even as I'm talking, I'm thinking about just the lore and the great performances. I know there's been some that were kind of like, you know what I mean? But again, there's been so many great ones. Seriously. What do you guys think? Let's Troy saying Dracula in general is the cream, although the Francis Ford Coppola film is my favorite. More an Oldman guy. Rachel hits it yet again. Gary was great. Gary was great. No joke. Apex saying needs a touch up. Okay. Rory saying
Ooh.
cream. Okay. Death Central saying, ooh, baby, and that's higher than I would have put it because I don't like vampires. There you go. But still, giving it the ooh, baby. That's
Feel
cool.
pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Saying, but I get what he did. All right. Very cool. Emperor also is a fan of Oldman as Dracula. Russell saying Christopher Lee will always be Dracula to me. All right. Let's see. Julie's on a roll. God, Julie. Oh
Oh,
man. Willis also a fan of Gary Oldman. All right. Very cool. So where are we gonna put this, man? Julie's like cream. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's put it as in a vote. Let's put it in a vote
I
because
think
I
that's
kind of
fair.
feel because everyone's people are everywhere on this. So let's just see. Hold on one second. I want to put this
Wait, he's
in.
gonna be high, which is good because it's Dracula, definitely deserves to be high, but I think a poll is a good way to go. It's just my Gary Oldman bias that keeps me from putting him on the cream.
Yeah, well, okay. So we've got Dracula. Are we going with Ooh Baby, or are we going with the cream? So you guys, let's vote. This should be pretty interesting. We've only got two choices, which I think is you know, pretty cool. Let's see.
Vote.
You guys are too funny. Nightfall's going with cream. Okay, well, here's you guys a chance to vote. Val saying the classic monsters villains should all go into the cream category. Set so many standards for modern horror. You know,
Good point.
that's a great point, and I
Yes.
think that if we were using that as the only criteria, I definitely agree. Because
Yep.
again, these classic characters, they're the ones that set the standard. Um,
Yes.
but for me, I'm looking. I'm trying to look in a lot of different angles and this is why this makes it fun, and this is also why
Yes.
you guys in the chat have so many different ideas and opinions, because these characters mean something different for everyone, you know.
Oh, it looks like Cream is winning. I think Dracula's gonna end up in Cream. We're at 20 votes,
Okay.
and Cream is pulling ahead.
Pierre saying if Dracula's not cream, then put the monster down. Good point. Good point.
Good point. Mhm.
Yep. We got Gina in the house. What's up, Gina?
Hey,
Good to see
Gina.
you. All
Yes.
right. Kevin said, I respect the classic monsters, but I don't like none. There you
That's
go.
fair enough. Each to
It
their
is.
own.
It's very true. Very
Mhm.
true. Okay, we're gonna go a couple more seconds for the vote. And right now, it's looking like it's a runaway. We got
It does.
77% going with the cream,
Mhm.
22 votes. Let's go, guys. We got almost 40 people here. Unless you're driving, please vote. Please vote. Very, very cool. Scott saying they're classics for a reason, and the game changers are always relevant.
Very
Well
true.
said.
Very true.
I
Mhm.
love the way you said that. That's very cool, man.
Yes.
Okay, couple more seconds. Julie says, "Yeah, I'm good on dying without ever seeing the Crow remake."
I think that is understandable. 100%, Julie. Mhm. Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, I knew, while we give these guys a couple seconds real quick, I
Mhm.
knew that that was just not going to work out the way that they
No.
expected it. And God, man, I could rant about that all day. I ranted about it a little bit a few weeks ago when we did a tier list of 2024 films, and I just had issues with it all the way through. And I love Bill Skarsgård, but I just think everything about the setup of that film just did not work. It just did not work, and it was nowhere near as effective as the original. Nowhere
I
near.
stayed away from it for a reason. I think there are
Yeah.
certain films that they only work because they were released at a certain place and at a certain time and in the atmosphere of what pop culture was at the time, and The Crow just worked
Mm,
in the 90s. It worked for that
yeah.
gritty, adaptation that it was, and of course,
Hmm.
the late great Brandon Lee and,
Yep.
everything surrounding it. So, there are some films that I just think you just need to leave alone because they really just work because they just came about at exactly the right time, and, yeah, The
Hmm.
Crow was definitely one of them.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the movie out of every movie I've seen since I was a little kid. That's the movie I've seen the most in the theater. I went and saw that
Oh,
movie
wow.
a bunch of times.
Yeah.
We had an old theater that also had discount, after a certain time, or whatever. I
Yeah.
saw that
Mhm.
film. I saw it at least 5 or 6 times because
That's awesome.
I was obsessed with it. I mean, I was especially being a martial artist, obviously I was obsessed with his
Mhm.
father, and
Yes.
Brandon Lee started a career in action. So I was obsessed with him. And when I'll never forget the day I heard about the news, and I mean, I'm not
Oh, I
ashamed to say it.
know.
I was destroyed.
Mm,
And this film, for me anyways, felt like the only connection, that I could have to get through the grief of it. And it
yeah,
was
of
a
course.
fantastic film.
Mhm.
That's the other part of it. It was just a fantastic
Yes.
film,
Yes.
so
Mhm.
all right. Okay. So this was easy.
Yeah.
75% went with the cream for Drac. So we're going all the way to the top, baby. We're going all the way to the top.
I'm fine with that. I mean, it's Dracula.
Yeah.
He's a vampire. It's Christopher Lee's. Like I said, it's just my Gary Oldman bias because it's like, well, if we come across Gary Oldman, then do I need to put him in like super cream?
Super cream. That's too funny. I love that. Wow. I might have to use that. That's good, Rachel. Wow. Val says, "What? The Valentine villain is in Death Curse? I walk away for 5 minutes and all hell breaks loose." There
Oh
you
dear.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Um, let's see. Let's see. It says I would probably have a different opinion on the classic monsters if I had been from that time. Guess I'm too young. Huh? Age does play a part.
That old, like I don't think either Knight or I were around when Frankenstein came out.
But you know what though? Here's one thing to piggyback off that. You're obviously absolutely correct. But I think, at least for me, when I was growing up, those monsters or those films or those characters still held a lot of weight in
That's
horror.
yes,
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
like when I was a kid and someone said, Dracula, like it was kind of
Yes.
like, whoa, or
Yeah, definitely.
Frankenstein. It was like, whoa.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
and I think that we've kind of gotten away from that a bit in the last,
I
20
agree. Yes.
years,
Mhm.
unfortunately. Who knows? I mean, they've been around for almost 100 years. They'll probably come back around and have their heyday,
Yep.
and yeah, yep. Julie saying, Val, you can't take your eyes away for a second, or you never know what kind of crazy business will happen. So true.
Exactly.
So true. So true. All right. Next up, guys, look, let me just say something here. Let's as I used to tell my brother all the time in live streams, let's proceed with caution. We've got Freddy Krueger, Rachel, and interestingly enough, tomorrow night, we're going to be coming back to the Elm Street debates. Finish this saying off. I want to also say this too. You guys in the audience will have a direct, work to do tomorrow night as far as grading the categories for the OG Elm Street from 1984. But Rachel, when we talk about Freddy as a character, where does he go?
We're the cream warriors.
That was good.
That is where Freddy's going.
Wow, that was good. I wish I could have recorded that. That was awesome. Oh my gosh, that was great. All right.
Look, my man, he definitely gets diluted in some of these sequels, but
Yes.
it's Freddy. I mean, he's iconic. He was one of those horror villains that I knew about him before I was even into horror. Like he was one of those names that you just knew. Freddy Krueger, Michael
Yeah.
Myers, and Robert Englund obviously is a legend. He is amazing. I've talked about how I haven't seen the remake because I can't imagine anyone else in that role. And
Yeah.
even when he's being stupid, Freddy, he's still bringing it.
Yeah.
Like he's like, okay, it's stupid, but I'm still going to commit. I'm still going to be as Freddy as I can, even if I'm on a stupid broomstick with a stupid hat saying stupid lines. He's still bringing it. And, OG Freddy in the original, in Dream Warriors, in New Nightmare, he's so
Hmm.
menacing and he's so terrifying. And he's just, I mean, he's still so iconic. He's a legend that has just continued from when he first came out. If we had Super Cream, Freddy would be going there. So yeah, definitely Cream.
All right. Very, very cool. Look, guys, you guys, if you've been on this channel, around this channel long enough, you should know what I'm thinking. Even just looking at the content, you guys know my heart always goes back to the old school, the 80s, and you can't escape what Freddy Krueger is. Freddy Krueger helped to usher in a new era of slasher and a lot of creativity, and helped to usher in other icons as well that came after him. Freddy, and as a big Jason guy, you guys know that I can fully admit, Freddy helped to improve, that whole competition between Friday 13th and Halloween and so forth. Without Freddy, who knows what would have happened, right? Um, there's no doubt where he has to go. I don't even have to say it. But in the chat, let's see what you guys are saying. You guys, did you see what Julie said? She said, Freddie can probably get that bottom tier. Julie, I want to know if you are serious, because usually
She's trolling.
when she says stuff that is funny like that, she'll usually put an emoji in there. So I'm just curious, man. I'm absolutely curious. And tomorrow night could get very interesting, by the way, if this is true, Julie. And look, we got Troy coming in with a $10 super chat, man. Thank you so much. Seriously. Awesome. Saying Super Macho Man Cream for the man, the myth, the MF legend, Frederick Charles Krueger. There you go. It's so funny. Before I started reading it, because I'm reading it, in my mind, I was gonna be like adding the extra name in there for the fun of it. And Troy beat me to the punch there. And he says, yes, throwing in Charles was specific as hell. Night kills me with that Audrey stuff every time he says it. Hey,
Audrey Myers.
That's who he is. What's so funny? I've started to see other people use that, and it's like,
That's awesome.
like, yeah, we started something. Okay, so Troy is like, let's go to the cream. There was no doubt about it. And speaking of cream, let's do a quick clip from my man Troy. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Rachel, sometimes there's just no denying it. And here it is.
But the cream, yeah, let me say it here. Let me say it out loud. Yeah, you mean Gene Okerlund. You know that I'm the cream. I am the cream, yeah.
There it is. You gotta love it. You've got to love it. Freddy's going to the cream, baby. This is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. All right. Shout out to Robert Englund, who, by the way, he's just awesome. He really is. God, man, I could just listen to him talk all day. And you guys in the chat, you guys are saying the same thing. All right. Cream Warriors. There you go. Yep. Kevin saying, gotta be the cream for the character, though, because most movies are pretty bad in my book.
Some of them do get a bit iffy.
Yeah, he got crazy, man.
Yes.
He got crazy. If you guys haven't seen my Why You Hate for a couple of these Freddy entries, then wow, I'm telling you. May, thank you for putting the link in for tomorrow night. We're going back to Elm Street, 1984, Wes Craven's masterpiece, and we're going to break it down category by category, and we're going to see where it lands, because this is how we're going to rank the Elm Street franchise. The Great Debates series has been so much fun. A big shout out to so many people that have helped out with it, including you, Rachel. Eric's been on, my man Shape. Shout out to Julie, to Cody Leach, to my man Lee. We just talked about the remake the other day. That was so much fun, because I was talking to Lee, and it's funny because I'm thinking to myself, because I'm a huge fan of Drum Dums, right? And I said to Lee, I said, well, did you want to jump on one of the debates for Elm Street? Because we did Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. And he says, sure, I want to jump on. What do you got left? So I gave him the option of like 5 movies, including the remake. And he immediately said remake. I was like, see, that's why you're all right. He said, I want to go right straight to the controversy. Nice. All right. I love it. I love it. And Julie, when you come on the panel tomorrow, I'm gonna be interviewing you, man. She's like, the remake is not that bad to me. There you go. There you go. She's not playing around tonight. Mayanne said the cream. MK said the cream, and she said not serious. Okay, all right.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure. I want to make sure. Val saying, even being 16 years old and seeing this in the theater scared the shit out of me. Absolutely the cream. Yeah, man. Freddy is no doubt. No doubt. Nightfall coming in with a super chat as well. Thank you so much, brother. Much appreciated. saying Macho Man clip for Freddie, Cream, and Rachel. You could sing that on my voicemail. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Rachel, this could, hey, I'm just saying, man, everyone's got talents, and that was good. I was thinking to myself, I wish I could have recorded that. So, I'm just saying
One
on
day.
your
I'll do a bunch of sound bites for you one day, Night, including Where Are the Witches?
yeah, there you go.
There we go.
What's funny is and I already told you the story, but just for people,
Mhm.
when I did season of the Why You Hate Halloween 3, season of the witch, when I was writing out the script and I came to that part, you were the first person that came to my mind as like, I
Oh,
know this is Rachel's biggest point,
I was so
so
happy when I saw it in the video. I was like, "Yes, Night's taking my soundbite and run with it."
yeah, man, it's like it's absolute, but it's true. It's a good point. All right. Nightfall, let's do this one more time because you guys are the cream. Here we go.
But the cream, yeah, let me say it, yeah. Let me say it out loud. Yeah, you mean Gene Okerlund. You know that I'm the cream. I am the cream, yeah.
There it
Never
is.
gets
There it
old.
is. It doesn't. It doesn't. And May, thank you for putting the playlist in the chat. Definitely. If you haven't, check out the Why You Hate playlist. We're having a lot of fun with that. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of
Mhm.
fun. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Check it out again. Check it out again if you haven't already. Okay. Um these guys are killing me. JPEG said Freddy's dead. Oh man, look at that. You
Great
guys.
use of emoji.
Oh, these emojis are tripping me out.
Oh, dear.
Okay, next up. Next up, we've got Hannibal the Cannibal. What are you thinking, Rachel?
Look, Silence of the Lambs. Oh my god, what a movie. Just
Hmm.
oh, I was 15 when I first saw this movie. I can still remember just after it finished sitting on the floor of my parents' living room and just being like, I am never sleeping again, like ever. Hannibal Lecter. Look, I know that we've got a few some of the other movies, Hannibal, and then obviously Red Dragon and stuff. I think he's still good, but if we're just going Silence of the Lambs,
Yeah.
this man is the stuff of nightmares. And I
Mm,
think Anthony Hopkins is so good. I mean, this is such a well-known fact, and it gets mentioned anytime this movie comes up, but it's so true. How is he only in 22 minutes of the film? Like
yeah.
his presence fills that movie. It's like you
Hmm.
you get to the end and you're like, "Really? Only 22 minutes?" Every scene he has with Clarice is
Yep.
just so full of tension and so amazing, and I think that Anthony is so good at playing that cold, controlled psycho, This isn't a guy who's gonna, run around all flailing around. He's cold, he's calculated, and yes, he eats people, but, like, I
Hmm.
think everything else is much more scary about him. The mind games, the "Have the lamb stop screaming, Clarice," everything
Yes.
about it is just so insane, and
Yeah.
his final line, "I'd love to talk, but I'm having an old friend for
Old friend
dinner
for
tonight."
dinner.
I mean,
Yeah.
so good. I mean, he's gotta be, like, super, uber, massive cream, man. He's like, he is the bad guy that everyone thinks of when you think of bad guys from horror movies. So,
Uh, wait, you said
definitely cream.
wait a minute, girl. You said super uber
Uber
massive
cream.
cream. Oh Lord, I wish and I
Oh,
can clip out some of this stuff. So this is some funny stuff, man. Look, you guys know, um, Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite films of all time, and Anthony Hopkins, what he was able to do with this character is such a huge part of it. Um, he's a fave actor of mine, and he was just so creepy. I'll never forget. You know what's great about movies, especially when you're a fan of movies, is when you can still remember that first time that you saw something or
Mhm.
that you reacted a certain way to something. And I can still, it's so weird because it was obviously in 1991, but I can still remember watching that movie for the first time, sitting there with my mom, freaking out. It felt so gritty. It felt so realistic. And like you said, the way he chose to perform, the character and the interactions, which it was just magnificent. There's no doubt in my mind, anyways. He's got to go to the cream. He's got to, no doubt. You guys in the chat, and I see a lot of cream in the chat. You guys let us know. Scott saying easily he's the cream. He'd give Freddy Krueger nightmares. There you go. That's great. Death Central said go with the ooh baby. Okay, all right. We got MK saying ooh baby. All right. And Nightfall, oh, this is crazy. Nightfall said watched Red Dragon last night. It's so good. I loved him the most in Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon. Yeah, he was great. He was great. A great character. Let's see. Blazing saying, I need that on a shirt. Super uber massive cream, right? Hey, look. I should do that. That would be a good shirt, man. Oh, Lord. You guys are all right. Troy saying, I'll go cream for Lecter, although Mads was the one that really fleshed the character out. Yeah, the TV show was fantastic. It really was. No doubt. Val saying 100% cream. Willis saying it's the cream. Let's see. All right. Very cool. So, hey, we're going there. We're going all the way to the top of the mountain. All right. Too sweet to be sour. All right. Next up, we got the Wolfman. The Wolfman. Rachel, what do you think? Another OG character. Where should the Wolfman?
I unfortunately have not seen this one, not the original, but this is my man Lon Chaney, isn't it? And he is amazing. I am a huge fan of the 1925 Phantom of the Opera and him as that. And I know that he did pretty much just as much work on this film as he did on that with the prosthetics and the acting and everything. The
Yeah.
Wolfman is also one of the OG monsters. Obviously, again, we're talking, along the lines of Frankenstein's monster and Dracula. So even though I haven't seen it, I know enough about it and I know enough about Lon Chaney, and about this film to say that even without seeing it, I think he could safely probably go in cream. Because yeah, just again, like we've talked about the significance of these older movies and how they paved the way for modern horror. And Lon Chaney was such a legend back in the day. His physicality and the dedication that he would give to the roles absolutely scared the crap out of me in Phantom of the Opera. I've never forgotten that image of the mask coming off. And
Yep.
so yeah, I think safely, even without having seen it, I could say cream. What about you, Knight? What are you thinking on this one?
Well, I think that, it's obviously a fantastic character, even if you think about the different iterations, and like you said, Lon Chaney is a legend. I think that the film actually, and I think even when you think about the old school film, The Wolfman, I think it still holds up. It's got some great stuff in it. It's got creep factor. I like the atmosphere as well. This is a tough one because obviously, and someone in the chat mentioned it too, the 2010 Wolfman, and it's ironic that you mentioned that. I'll just say that to tease it out for something in the future. But saying 2010's Wolfman is cream. There were a lot of great things in that film, but there was some frustrating things as well. I will just
Talking
say
the
that.
Benicio del Toro one and Anthony
Yes.
Hopkins, and yes, I did enjoy that one, but you're right, there are some issues with it too.
Yeah, it's like, what is going on here? What are they
Yeah.
doing? And you had Rick Baker ready to do
Mhm.
something amazing. Like Rick Baker wanted to one up what he did with American Werewolf in London. And the studio was like, nope, let's just put some CG in here. And it's like, what are we doing?
Come on. I
You
know.
could you've got the master right there,
Mhm.
ready to work. So, anyways,
Yep.
I won't rant too long. But I think the Wolfman is a really good character as a villain. When I look at the whole trajectory, I don't know if I've ever really put him up as high as Frankenstein or Dracula though, and
Okay. Mhm.
that might just be my own preferences and stuff like that. What do you guys in the chat think? Let's see what these guys are saying. Russell was a fan of the Wolfman from 2010. All right. Let's see. We've got Pierre saying Wolfman is one of the OGs, has to be in the cream, but it wasn't used as well as the vampires. That's a good point. Let's see. Who else? Wolfman is cream. Okay. All right. Willis saying cream. Blazin saying cream for the Wolfman. Okay. Troy saying like Dracula, Wolfman is cream for the concept. All right. Nightfall is going with Ooh Baby. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of going that way a little bit too with the Ooh Baby. Russell is a fan of the transformation scene in the courtroom. Yeah, it was. I like I said, I just wish that the studio had stepped back a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I would have loved to have seen Rick Baker's full vision of what he wanted
Yes.
to do.
Mhm.
But yeah. Scott saying all I'm saying, Wolfman's got nards. Cream. That was good. I was wondering if someone would say that. Val said, my vote, the classics equal cream. There you go. And Julie's keeping track, saying we got 47 likes. Can we get to 50? Yeah, can we do that? That would be
We
great.
can. Let's do it, people.
Yeah. David in the chat saying, watching this from the beginning. Ooh, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. We appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Julie says, Val, keep an eye on him in case he goes down next to Valentine. That is
Yeah.
wow. I don't know if he'd go that low. He is an OG. All right. So look, let's this is a tough one. Let's go. Man. Let's go with Ooh Baby. I'm gonna go with Ooh Baby. I'm gonna do it. If people, if they want to change it, they can.
Hey, you can always bump him up.
You can always
Someone
bump him
please bump the Thregan down.
Bro, that was crazy. Willis was like, hold my beer. I'm moving her
I
up
know,
2
right?
levels.
I'm keeping my eye on him.
That's right. That's right. Oh my God. Okay, guys. Let's continue the fun here. Next up is Ghostface. Ghostface. Now, you know what? I've almost been waiting this entire stream to see what you're going to say about Ghostface as a villain. Where does Ghostface land? What do you think, Rachel?
Ghostface is the scream cream. That's where he goes. Look, I might be biased here.
Rachel.
Sorry, it was too easy. It was right there. It was begging to be said. Oh, man. Look, anyone who knows me in the chat knows I love the Scream franchise. It's my favorite horror movies franchise. And to be honest, one of the reasons I love it is Ghostface. I think he's a great villain. What I really love about Ghostface is he's an idea rather than an actual villain, because there's always someone different behind the mask. That's one of the fun parts of Scream for me, is figuring out who's behind the mask this time. Is it Harry Potter Roman, or is it Crazy Jill? It's always fun to find out. I think that Ghostface is, I mean, the phone calls are so much fun. Roger's voice is amazing. And anytime the phone calls come through, it's always really fun. I love that Ghostface likes to toy with his victims. He's not always just there for the kill. Sometimes he's just there to be a troll. And that's really fun. I also love that he is one of the clumsiest villains in existence, which just makes him so much more realistic. Like, this dude's coming to kill you, and he's like, tripping over things and flailing about and just getting caught in places. And that is just so much fun. So people might say it's my Scream bias, it's making me put it in cream, but it's actually because of Ghostface that is one of the reasons that I love Scream so much, because he is just such a fun villain. And when the mask comes off, you have so many great moments. Billy and Stu are two of the funniest dudes ever. Every time I watch that scene, I'm like, why are you stabbing yourselves first? You kill Sydney first, then you stab each other. Like, come on, boys, let's put some thought into this. But no, it's always really fun. So, Ghostface for me, Scream cream, definitely up there.
All right.
Night.
Well, look, here's the thing. And obviously I love the franchise, and the OG is still to this day such a fantastic film, just from A to Z. Wes and Kevin just did a fantastic job, and it still resonates. It's still so powerful. Ghostface as a killer, like you said, I was just thinking about that too. It's just so freaking clumsy. It puts a little realism in it, which is fun in a way. Sometimes it can be a little frustrating depending on which Ghostface we're talking about. We've seen we've seen Ghostface even use magic, and I'm talking Harry Potter type of stuff, because we know Roman was not he was not alone. You just can't do some of that shit. But this is kind of challenging for me though, because as a villain, and I love Roger, and I love, even in the later films, like I think Roger did a hell of a job in these last couple of films, even though I had some frustration with those films. But I think Roger, you could tell he was just having so much fun in
Yeah.
5 and 6.
Mhm.
And I really enjoyed that. This is crazy stuff, man. I mean, look, guys, I'm just gonna put it out there, and I'm looking at it not just as the movie, but I'm looking at the villain himself. I can't wait to see what the chat is saying on this too. I'm thinking we got to go to Ooh Baby. I'm
Okay.
thinking we got to go to Ooh Baby. Julie, Rachel's about to reach to the screen. What are you talking about? Julie said Ghostface with the shotgun is cream. Yeah, that was a great
Mhm.
scene.
Yeah, that
Great
was one of
scene.
my favorite scenes. So
Yep.
good.
Yep. JPEG saying cream without a doubt. Pierre saying Ghostface is the cream. He's even in Mortal Kombat. You go.
Very good point, Pierre.
Wow. Nightfall saying Ghostface gave energy to the horror genre.
Mhm.
Game-changing franchise.
Yep.
Scream. There you go.
Mhm.
Look at Val. Look, Val. I'm just listen. Let me explain. Let me explain. Val's about to send messages to me on Instagram and everything. I'm not talking about the movies, okay? Scream 96 is one of my favorite movies ever. I'm talking about the villain, because I could beat up Ghostface in every single movie, maybe with the exception of 3, because they're using magic, okay? So I'm just saying that's how I'm looking at it as a
It's brilliant.
as a villain. I'm looking at Ghostface as a villain. And and you even said it, Rachel, which I was so surprised. Even the great Billy and Stu. It's like,
Mhm.
kill Sydney first.
Yeah, they're kind of stupid.
So it's like, so that's where I'm coming from, guys. That's where I'm coming from. We can move him if you want. Look at Julie's like, dang, if Steven was here. I know.
Just think of that. What if Steven was here?
Steven's gonna call me later on tonight. But
He
listen, I had to make a stand. There's no lying. I know, Rachel. You
Oh,
need to
trust
talk
me,
night back.
I will, Val. There will be talks to be had. Absolutely.
I'm just saying, guys. Now, see, listen. Now, Nightfall. This is the exact point I'm making. He's saying Scream is cream, and you're right. Scream is cream. We're talking about Ghostface. We're talking about Ghostface alone. So look, man, I'm just saying that it is what it is. Look at geez, here we go. Troy's coming in with a super chat.
Oh, look at Troy.
He said waiting for this as well. Ghostface is a symbol who took 5 movies to kill any main character. A joke overall. Scooby-Doo villain. Touch up for me. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh
Tatum
no.
in the first movie, she was a main character, and then Randy in the second movie, he was a main character too. Don't you dare put
Oh.
it there, Knight. Oh no.
Dude,
Oh no,
look,
no.
look, man, I'm just
I
saying.
know.
Look,
I
look.
know.
Troy came in hot. That was a hotter take
Oh,
than Willis
no.
bringing Megan up.
It really is.
Wow.
Mhm.
Mm.
Oh dear. Troy. Now I got 2 I gotta keep my eye on. Troy and Willis.
Ah. Oh my God.
Oh
Uh,
dear.
that's
All
right.
right.
That's right, Val. Look at Eric. Eric's jumping in too. This is funny. All the Scream critics are gonna come in. Ghostface is
Boo.
lame, clumsy. Name a Scream movie where he doesn't trip over his own 2 feet. It's true.
Realistic and kind of fun. I mean, you got Michael Myers, who's like so smooth and the world's slowest, fast walker, and he's just, he's an unstoppable killing machine.
I
Ghostface is fun
know.
because he's flailing about all over the place.
He's flailing, man. Look at man, you're killing me, Smalls. Look at that. Oh man, look at Rachel. Oh, look at Rachel. We got a bidding war. Look, this is
Had to be done. I cannot have Ghostface below Mithrigan. I mean,
What?
no.
Well, I gotta admit that's true. There's no way. Can we all listen?
Way.
Everyone in the chat, if you can, please. Can we all agree that Megan should be lower than Ghostface?
Yes.
Is that unanimous? Just let us know. Just tell us if that's unanimous. Megan has to be lower than Ghostface. Okay, so Rachel, with the will of her soul, wants to bring Ghostface back up to the cream. There we go. There we go. This was funny as hell, man. My goodness. You guys.
These screams are so great. They're just so much fun.
Oh my god. Look at man. Man's like, yeah. Troy said, I'm not afraid of knitting needles. Bring it, Rachel. Oh Lord. Hey, look. Julie coming in hot saying, to be fair, my memory gets foggy distinguishing between Scream 1 and 2 Ghostface and Scary Movie Ghostface. Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
look at Nightfall. Nightfall's coming in. Oh, saying agree with Night. Scream is the cream. Ghostface is meh. So Nightfall, you're putting now we don't have meh. It needs a touch up. Is that where you're putting it? Let me know, Nightfall, if that's where because the meh category or the middle category needs a touch up. Holy crap, we got a bidding war on Ghostface. Who would have thought?
Oh dear.
Who would have thought? This is too funny, man. Willis saying no. Oh man. Oh wow. So Willis said that Megan should not be lower than Ghostface. That's what it was. Oh wow.
Oh no.
Scott saying yes, lower than Ghostface. MK
Mhm.
saying lower. Oh my
Yes.
god. Troy said Megan is a character. Ghostface is not. There you go. Nightfall said Megan is better than Ghostface. Woo, man.
Ooh.
Wow. This is too funny, man. Oh my goodness.
Oh, dear.
Oh man, Nightfall wants him and needs a touch up. This is crazy stuff, man.
We
Wow.
can't. No, we can't.
This is a
It can't be done.
tug of war. My God, who would have thought? Troy saying I'm with Nightfall. Scream is good. The character is not. There you go. Not in the file. Not in the file. Wow.
Not in the file.
Let's do this while we're giving you guys a second to breathe, or maybe a second for me to breathe. You know, when you talk about it not being in the file, this is what it looks like.
We're fine. Bullshit!
No! You son of a bitch! Shut up! Go to your room!
Back the fuck off!
I forgot about Tom Hanks in there too. Oh, sweet Jesus. That was too funny. Oh, Rachel.
People will not defeat me. You will not defeat me.
Wow. All right. Wow. Okay. So look, guys. Rachel is serious. Oh man. Oh Lord. That was
Oh
great.
dear.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh man. Nightfall saying love the clips. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
They're
You
great.
know, I love playing them, man. It's just so much fun and getting the reaction from folks. Man said Rachel for president.
I like that. President McDonald.
Julie said, and this is the last time Rachel will want to appear on panel. We're disappointing her so much.
No, not at all.
Too
Not at
funny.
all. I just I will fight for Ghostface until I die.
There you go. There
Or
you
until
go.
he kills.
All right. Next up, let's do a couple more as we wind this thing down. I knew
Yeah.
we wouldn't. Look at this. Look at this. Before
Oh no! Oh my God, Troy! Oh dear.
Troy is coming in hot. Hey, listen, can I say something? I will give Troy this much credit. He's always been consistent with that. Like anytime I would do anything Scream related, and you know, we do a lot of Scream talk here, and he would always make that the consistent take as far as Ghostface. Wow. Wow. Willis said this is
Down under.
funny.
He's literally under Mithrigan there. This is very disappointing.
Hey, well, look. Well, how about this? How about this? Can anybody move Megan down? Maybe Rachel would be
Please.
okay with that.
Oh dear. Look, I'm assuming there will be a part 2 of this, and in that one, I'm gonna make sure all of my funds are in order, and I will keep Ghostface at the top no matter what, but I
There
may
you
have to
go.
concede defeat for today.
There you
There you go,
go.
Troy. You won for today, but, oh, we are not finished. Mhm.
Eric said Troy's not wrong.
Troy
That's too
is
funny.
wrong, but that's fine.
Oh
You know I love
Lord.
all of you guys. We just joke. But
Oh
no,
my
seriously,
God.
I'm coming for you, Troy.
This is too funny, man. You guys, wow. I gotta catch my breath, man.
Oh dear. Yes. That got a bit chaotic there for a moment.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Okay.
We got Norman Bates, man. We're going all the way back to 1960. The great
Mhm.
Anthony Perkins, late great Anthony Perkins. What do you think about Norman Bates?
Oh, come on. And this guy, I mean, Mr. OG mummy issues over here. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, Psycho is a classic for a reason. And
Yeah.
Anthony Perkins, with his, the way he plays Norman as,
Yeah.
that meek, shy innkeeper who would never look at a woman in the eye and, is
Yeah.
all, whatever. And then just the switch, and the reveal and just all of his issues coming out and just everything. And of course, the whole movie is so atmospheric, so
Mm-hmm.
amazing. It's just a masterclass in tension and building that suspense and everything. And that final gaze into the camera with the voiceover and the
Mm.
fly and just everything. I mean, that stare, it's like he's staring into your soul. Like
Yeah.
when you watch that scene and he's looking directly down the barrel of the camera and you're just kind of like, oh no, he's coming to get me.
Yeah.
It leaves you with that ick feeling. And no,
Mm-hmm.
he's great. He's got to be the cream. There's nowhere else you can put him. What do you
All
reckon,
right.
Nye?
Well, listen, guys, and I've talked about Norman Bates quite a few times because I think that there's so much that he did, for the genre as a character. And even if you look at all of the films, I think what Anthony Perkins was able to do for this character and the performance and everything was just so amazing. There's no doubt in my mind he's got to go to the cream. He's just
Mhm.
so
Yep.
amazing. You guys in the chat, let us
Mhm.
know. Let's talk about this and see if anybody thinks that Norman should not be in the cream. Let's see. Paul is going with the cream. Mayanne
Mhm.
saying Norman is cream.
Mhm.
We've got Blade in the house. Welcome to the chat saying the disrespect for Ghostface will not be tolerated. There you go. There you go. Troy's coming in with a $2 super chat saying, I love you still, Rachel. There you go.
Eye on you, that's all.
It's too funny, man.
Also, big
Uh,
shout out tonight, just gifting 5 memberships. So generous. That's awesome. Being a member
well,
on this channel is fantastic, guys. You get so many great perks and just, yes. So definitely keep your memberships if you've been gifted them. But that's awesome night. So generous.
oh, well, thank you for saying that, Rachel. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's a cool thing to be able to help out too, in our own way to help the community and for people that whether they're newer to the community or if sometimes you're not able to always do things like memberships, and that's perfectly fine, but this gives you an opportunity to see what it's like, and we're happy to do it. So thank you guys, all of you guys in the chat, also welcoming the new members, and I do try to communicate with you guys multiple times a week. We have a lot of fun, we really, really do. So, but yeah, Norman's got to go in the cream unless anybody objects, which I would be
I don't think
so
anyone would.
shocked.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
this isn't a case of Ghostface here. This is Norman Bates here. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Rachel.
There's no arguing here. No, I'm with you, Night. Like you can't argue this one down.
All
And if
right.
Norman ended up even or lower than Megan, then we'd really have a problem.
Right? I know,
Yes.
man. I know. I'd have an issue. I'd be like, okay, let me pull out my wallet. Um, Val said Norman is 1,000% the cream. The
Mhm.
nice guy to your face while stabbing you in the back helps up the
Mhm.
standard for my all-time favorite Halloween and many, many more. Yep, there you
Mhm.
go. There you go. Troy also saying the cream for Norman. His character had many levels, evolved over time, a great
Mhm.
character. That's so true.
Yes.
He evolved, and that was interesting in his portrayal. And definitely rest in peace to Anthony Perkins.
Mhm.
Just a talented actor. I'm so glad to see, his son Oz Perkins also, giving something to this horror community and with his talented director vision. So it's great stuff, man. Great stuff. Destin's in the house. What's up, man? Saying just getting here. Freddy is always top tier. There you go. There you go. Man, send to those who got gifted memberships. Welcome to the cream of YouTube. Wow, maybe I should use that. I never really thought about
Mhm.
that. Oh man, look at Val saying, please
Come
move
through for
Megan
me.
to Death Curse. Ooh, there it
Val,
is,
you are
guys.
my hero. At least now
There
I
it
can
is.
rest knowing that this stream will end with Megan underneath Ghostface. Yes.
I there's no lying here. I was like, man, this is gonna be interesting. Obviously, we will have to do a second part to this, but yeah,
Yes.
wow. Val, Val came in. All right. Val,
You're
thank you
awesome,
so
Val.
much. Yes, she she is. She made this look a little bit more presentable. Val,
Yes.
you you rock. Let's do a clip. Let's do a clip for Val. And sometimes, Rachel, you think you know what's going to happen and maybe you should listen to your heart, and it might look like this.
Oh, I found out the hard way the last time that I tried this. And I haven't seen this done with any other sodas before. And I just don't think it's going to be all that easy.
I'm sorry. That lady. Oh, Lord. Woo. Okay. You guys are all right, man. Seriously. Julie said, no, Val, what about the TikTok dance? Oh, man. You guys are too funny. The challenge was annoying. There you go. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So listen, let's do one more. Let's do one more. I think this will be a good place to stop. Let's go with Samara from The Ring. Rachel, what do you think about Samara from The Ring? Where should she go on this list now that we've gotten Megan down in Death Curse?
Creepy ass chick coming through the TV. No, thank you. The Ring again, another horror movie that I saw really early.
Yeah.
Actually, side note, I have a little fun story to tell about this. So I saw this when I was about 17, when VHS tapes were still a thing, and I was living in a group house, and I fell asleep on the sofa after watching this movie, and woke up to find that some asshole had put a blank VHS tape next to my head. So when
Get
I woke
out.
up, that was the very first thing I saw. So that was a fun night of horror for me.
Wow.
Look, I really love Samara. I think she
Yeah.
is a great villain. I think the premise of the movie is fantastic. I think once you find out her backstory and you find out, why 7 days and all of that, it's fantastic. But what I really like about Samara is that you find out that she was just evil. Like, she wasn't turned evil because she was shoved down a well. She was shoved down a well
Mhm.
because she was already evil. Now, that being
Yes.
said, yeah, so I always liked that, like creepy little kids, and like, there's that scene where she's in the room and he's all like, the doctor's like, "You don't want to hurt people, Samara," and she's like, "But I
But I
do,
do.
and I enjoy it." And it's like, oh, good God, no. So
Yeah.
yeah, look, I think Samara is great, but I would probably put her in Ooh Baby because I don't think she's quite as iconic as the others. And
Mhm.
again, I think with The Ring, you do get scared more by the concept. Like, she is a great villain,
Yeah.
but the majority of the movie is like, you don't really see her. We don't really get to know her until like the third act of the movie. So I think she's
Mhm.
very, very effective. I think the little girl who played her was so good and really
Yes.
brought, the creep factor. So I think Ooh Baby for Samara. I think she'd fit nicely there. What about you?
Well, let me just say, Scott says, here's a hot take. Samara needs a touch up. There you
Oh, wow.
go. Wow. Julie said Samara's so good, but probably ooh baby.
Yeah.
All right. Blazing said, I'm sorry I put the blank VHS tape by you, Rachel, but I knew it would make great for an antidote for the future. That was good.
Oh dear.
So look, um, wow. I think that Samara, the character itself was very interesting, and obviously, like you said, learning about why things were the way they were, and of course, the reveal that she's an evil mofo. A lot of creepy stuff. I'm a real big fan of the original of the Ring, and the sequels, whatever. But as a
Yeah.
character, I dig her, man. I think, put it this way, I think that Samara deserves to be higher than Megan for sure.
Yes.
To me, I think Samara could go to Ooh Baby. I really do.
Yeah.
What do you guys what do you guys think in the chat? Look at this. Man, and an evil mofo sent me night. There you go. Oh man. Blade is trying to make it happen. Ghostface is the cream. Just to carry
That's
yourself
what
with
I've
the
been
costume.
saying, man.
Hey man, I know they were going back and forth, Blade. I don't know if you were still here when they were going back and forth. It came close. We're gonna have a part
Yeah,
2
we
to
were
this
getting
though. But
whiplash. It was woof, 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 back, back, back. Nope, nope.
that
Now
was
he's here.
cool.
He's here. Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah. Thank you for putting Rachel's link in the chat, Val. We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Val. It's
That
awesome.
Central saying The Ring is the only movie that ever got me scared as a kid. So just for that, I bump her to Ooh Baby. Ooh, there you go. Very cool. All right. Let's see. Nightfall is going with needs a touch up. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. And Val, thank you for putting in just the information. If you've been gifted a membership, if you'd like to renew it, you do have to go and hit the renew membership button. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, Scott said she's definitely a better villain than Mithrigan. All right, we're gonna go with Ooh Baby. Ooh Baby. There we are, man. So this has been this has been crazy. I knew it was gonna be a lot of fun, but it got pretty damn crazy. Looking at this list, there's a couple that are like, what? Wow, what are we doing here? And poor Ghostface. Who would
I
have thought?
know.
Who would have thought?
I'll make sure I'm money bags next time we do this this tier list.
It's too funny. But no, there's a lot of great villains here and some interesting places. Again, everyone has their own opinion. You never know what people, like Death Central was saying, as a kid, The Ring was one of those few movies that actually scared him. You know what I mean? And he's watched a lot of horror. So it just goes to show you, just the different perspectives, right? But Blade said, I don't even know who you people are anymore. I know. Oh man. Oh, this was fun. Seriously, this was a lot of fun. You guys in the chat, thank you so much for making this just what it always is, a good time hanging out and talking movies. We are going to, I'm just going to say it now, we're going to try to finish this list. I'll try to set up something next week, and obviously Rachel, it'd be great to have you jump back on with us. Russell saying the Ghostface war was insane. It was.
It was.
It was. Oh my goodness. But seriously, for all you guys here, make sure you hit the like button. We appreciate that. Leave us some comments. Let us know also what you thought about the list. I know there was a lot of opinions, hot takes, and everything. Leave us some comments. Let us know. We'll set up things for part 2 and have some more fun with it. And yeah, this was a blast. So you guys have a good night. And as always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.